calling Jason Perfect.
Hello, we're live.
It was me this time.
Wait, did you get how much of that was on stream?
None of it. I waited until you
Okay,
stopped,
good.
and then I shouted
Okay,
to
good.
interrupt you and turned the
There's
stream
Requisite
on.
where everything's Jason's fault.
Everything, no, that Jason doesn't know it's his fault. That wasn't on stream. Hello,
now,
happy
though.
Tuesday. Hello, I see Too Lazy to Play Myself is already in chat. Was told there would be refreshments. Was correct. There are refreshments.
Oh,
Yo, someone's stream audio
That was
is
me.
getting picked up in their mic.
it was because my phone is right next to my mic.
Oh.
So we got to hear Matt twice.
This is Blue Gatorade with ice in it in a wine glass. You're welcome.
Already not using his Christmas present.
I thought the Blue Gatorade in a wine glass would be funnier.
Oh.
I have used the Christmas present many times already. I need to stir up the Blue Gatorade with ice in it to mix the chill into it. Anyway, Blue Gatorade. This stream is brought to you by Little Dragon Corp and Cardboard Castle Games, sponsors of us here at Proficiency Bonus. You can get a link to those websites by typing !Little Dragon or !CCG into chat at any point during tonight's stream. Little Dragon Corp, of course. I think this one's a Little Dragon Corp die. Purveyor of fine tabletop gaming dice. If you go to their website and decide to purchase anything, maybe a little post-Christmas gift for yourself, maybe all you got was socks because your family doesn't care about your interests and you want some dice, you can go to Little Dragon Corp and you can get them at a discount by using our code BONUS at checkout to get 15% off of your order. Hey, hello. Chat is very active tonight. Hello, chat. Anyway, Cardboard Castle Games, brick and mortar tabletop RPG store located in Evans, Georgia. If you are not located in Evans, Georgia, fear not, because many forms of delivery service work. Not all of them are based in, as Victoria put it, BF Ireland. You can look forward to that. We're gonna have our gift exchange in probably a couple of weeks, because somebody's gift is coming from very.
Ireland.
I was just waiting for somebody to do it.
Over here we got a B, and over there we got an F. That's the whole town. Get out.
That's it. Yep, that's all they got. Righty. So
We also have an Applebee's.
as is only right and proper. Let's jump right into it. You guys, last time we played before the holidays, you guys had just, in the sort of present timeline, had just encountered a real, live, very upset, and now mind-controlled, ancient red dragon, who has been controlled with some sort of an artifact by the Brotherhood of Artanis working through the Ignean Empire via old acquaintance of Rowan, Malark Har, ex-paladin of the Radiant Dawn and betrayer of the light. The resulting explosion and volcanic eruption of the dragon being released from its long slumber beneath the island of, behind my head there, Mount Ioliquis, caused some damage and some devastation to the surrounding tribes of Arakocra and goblins that live in this area. Your current sort of plan is, while trying to figure out what your next move is going to be, you guys can at least spend some time here repairing the Grimm's Folly, helping the locals out, and then sort of trying to figure out what your next move is going to be. We will pick up where we left off, which is it's like nighttime. You guys are all getting ready to like rest, to go to bed, and a tale was dragged out of Rowan about who that individual was and what their relationship to each other was, how they knew each other, and we then flashed back and saw the sort of the story of Rowan's joining the Radiant Dawn, her becoming a paladin, and the eventual fall and betrayal of her once friend Malarkar. At the conclusion of Rowan's story is where we rejoin back in the present. If you guys want to exchange any other like conversations amongst yourselves or with any of your like ship NPCs, you have the freedom to do that now. Whenever you guys are like ready to progress, let me know and we'll, you guys will get your rest and we'll start our next day. I will turn the table over to you guys.
Rowan is sitting there waiting for them to tell her to get the hell off the ship.
We love the Radiant Dawn. Get out of here, bitch.
Wow, that tale was so vivid, it was almost like I was there. I was real partial to that Ralph fella from the beginning of the story.
Oh, I like Anthony.
I think you should have been nicer to Saoirse. She was just misunderstood.
I think you should have been meaner.
Oh, Rowan got Bardic Inspiration. Thanks to Lazy.
Thank you. Gotta make a note of that, I'll forget.
So, all of these things that happened with your friend, well, not friend anymore, are why you left the Order.
Yeah. I wasn't given a choice. And they were right. I mean, I'm not a traitor, but how could they know?
And this artifact, why would he want to steal it?
The briefcase?
Yeah, wasn't it like the glowy
Yeah.
ball thing?
He did not take the glowy ball
He
thing.
left that with me.
He left that in the he like kicked Rowan into the bunker and put that thing at the door, which is what kept any of the monsters in there from killing her. He left that thing behind. The briefcase was what he stole.
Stole the briefcase, he left the glowy.
Which all you guys, or all Rowan knows about that, is what she was told, is that it is an Invarian device that was used to, like, store, record, and recall information somehow.
Oh, right. Okay, thank you for that. Yep.
I mean, assuming he stole it for the sake of Brotherhood and it's all about information.
Do you think I guess nobody would know what to think is on there, but why? How did he even get involved with the Brotherhood?
I don't know how.
It seems
I don't-
very strange that nobody from a remote village would.
It's not when you realize that he was the first to call the light. He was the most powerful. It's regardless of the fact that that is something within the Order. Word travels that in Lyra and from Lyra to outside of Lyra that there's another paladin. If the Brotherhood and the Ignians are looking for powerful people, they're gonna find them. I don't know how they found him. I don't know how he got connected to them, but he was mad to be stuck there sometimes, I think. So I think he probably made it kind of easy to find him too.
Also, fuck them for like exiling you for association. Like, what the
No.
fuck?
Yeah, I was gonna say you did what they had to do, but also like, did they really investigate that hard? I'm not a lawyer, but I feel like I could have done a better job.
I'm not a lawyer, but that sounds sus.
I hate that I'm not there. I hate that I don't know if Effany is okay, or who else is still alive that I trained with, because we die daily there. But I mean, the reality of it all is, if I wasn't kicked out, I wouldn't know you guys.
I mean, true. Like, yes, I'm very glad you're here with us. Like, they don't deserve you, but also, like, fuck them.
No.
Just because you're a risk, because you were friends with the betrayer, like, what the hell? You were also betrayed. What about your feelings?
How do they know I was betrayed? Effany passed out.
Did they ask?
Yeah. Doesn't mean they believed me. Doesn't mean
Well,
that
then
they
they're
have to believe
dicks. What the fuck? How dare?
me. It sucks. I'm still mad about it.
Yeah, I'm mad
But-
about it. Like,
I think I stopped being mad the day we went looking for that witch in the Anvarian ruins.
why?
Still able to call the light. They kicked me out, but I can still do it, so yeah, fuck them.
Yeah, you don't need no shit from them. You
I-
got your own power. You don't need their power.
Speaking of that, I have a question.
What's that?
I'm not exactly sure how paladin stuff works, but like,
I'm not sure either.
you gotta be worthy, right? Your gods gotta think you're cool to give you power. How come Dick Nuts McGee still gets to use power? What's up with that?
Yeah, where's he getting his power?
I would
Is it
assume...
yes? Is it the same power? 'Cause
I
if not, your god is suspicious.
It
No.
was Rowan, the power that you saw him that he used on you in there.
Different.
It was
It's darker.
more like it was more like it was the same power, but it was being twisted.
Yeah. I shake my head. I'm like, I don't. It started where mine started, but that's not where it comes from now. Or if it comes from that same source, whatever's in him now, whether it's the hatred, whether it's the fact that he turned on everybody, the darkness in him, it twists it so it's not the same anymore. I don't know how that works. I don't know.
Because you think if
About
it was
that.
from the same source, it would just like unplug it, like turn off the like no more access.
But the Ignians have their own gods and their own.
True.
Who's
So
to
it's-
say that this paladin power cannot become a perversion of itself? We saw the elementals in that cavern were about to be controlled by the
True.
Ignians. Who's
all
to
be
say
good.
that? Yeah, exactly. Power is power, and the source of it is
Doesn't really
inconsequential.
matter.
So sort of like drawing from the same well, except now you're using an evil bucket.
Yeah. Bucket?
I look
Or
at
you're
Texas
drawing
and
from
Captain
the
says
same
that,
well.
Like,
Drawing from the same well and using the water to drown people instead of slake the thirst of those who are suffering.
That was a better analogy than my evil bucket thing.
Or it's an evil bucket, I don't.
No, I like your thing better. That's better.
But this is why you are so protective, yes. Because you could not save the ones who were murdered.
she just nods.
You know that's not your fault, right?
I know. Doesn't change the feelings around it. I know it's not my fault.
when we were down there, you had no hesitation. You went,
I didn't even know it was him. I just thought it was a bad guy, and then the helmet came off. And honestly, I'm surprised I didn't just pass out from shock. I look at Nimue. I thought it was gonna be maybe your brother. And when it wasn't, I was glad I hadn't hit your brother, but then I was really upset that it wasn't your brother, because then I had to deal with it.
I mean,
If it was your brother, I would have kept hitting him just to knock him out, but,
if this is my brother, I probably would have kicked him in the balls.
well, that's your decision, that's your family line, I'm not getting involved in that. I didn't know.
And you did not know the people that were with him?
Right, none of them looked familiar to me, DM. None of them were familiar, just him.
Do you think he was... Based on what you told us, do you think he's trying to do this from a place of good? A place of trying to protect little people?
I think that's where it started. I don't know if that's where it still is.
Perhaps that vision was twisted like his power.
I want to think that's what he still thinks he's doing. But that could just be because for a long time he was my only friend. And we believed the best of our friends. But then he killed a bunch of us, and he almost killed Effany, and he almost killed me, and then he saved me by leaving the glowy orb, and then he still ditched, and I don't understand.
Just because he has chosen a darker path doesn't mean he no longer cares about you.
Yeah, but you heard him. I couldn't even get him to answer a single syllable of a question, so we'll never get the answers. It's gonna be a kill or be killed.
Do you have belongings of his? Or perhaps...
I hold up the helmet, and I hold up the feather.
We can still see what he's doing, maybe. His armor was special, but we might be able to look in on what he is doing. I just have to get the components for it. I just need to spend money that I don't have.
What do you need?
A lot of things.
I think we all need to go to bed. And I think tomorrow, Scylla, I need your help to try something.
Just say the word.
I want to help everyone here, and I think we all agree on that, but I don't know what we do from here.
Can I don't know if this needs to be like a check or if it's just like what, but like, is Rowan, after this whole experience, like what's like, I want to vibe check her. Like, is she super unfocused because of all of that? Is she like angry again? Because she said she stopped being angry after we fought that lady. And so I want to know like what the vibes are now for Rowan.
I would also like to vibe check Rowan.
Do I have to roll for that, or does it just happen?
I will say, so I think the way I want to handle this is, in this scenario, Rowan is the dungeon master. So if you guys want to make insight checks, you can make those rolls. And Brittany, you can decide how guarded or unguarded Rowan is being, and thus, assign like a DC
Or, like,
to
give
that
us
check,
disadvantage.
and then based on how they do, you can share what you think is relevant.
It's a really easy DC. Rowan does not have the energy to be hiding shit.
Okay.
Go for it, roll.
Oh yeah, that's 17 plus 4 for
Yeah,
me.
you fucking know
21.
Rowan's favorite. Yeah, you guys know what Rowan's favorite fucking color, and I don't even know Rowan's favorite fucking color. Does anyone else?
You tell me that favorite color's not in that Google Doc?
It might be in my secret notes.
Oh yeah, you guys don't. Never mind. I didn't say that there's a Google Doc that you guys don't know about.
Wow.
Matt has many of my Google Docs.
Book 3 of the Rowan story?
No, he has like
I
the
must
original
have
book,
it.
Rowan. Like the details. What do you guys want? You just want vibe check?
Yeah, vibe check.
Like-
Especially after. Oh, go ahead, Vic.
For Scylla, it's like is she unfocused, or like does she seem like lost, or has this experience? Does she seem like driven to like purpose to like stop this person? You know, like, it is kind of a vibe check, but it's more just like, is Rowan out of it? Because when Nimue went through all of her personal shit, she was super out of it, and she needed to get her ass beat. So I just am trying to know now, like, you
Do
know,
you have to
is
kick
Rowan
Rowan's
out of
ass we gotta
it? Do I
beat?
have to kick Rowan's ass?
I think the vibes you get is Rowan's butt does not need to be kicked. She needs to sleep. She's out of it right now in the sense of like, this just all happened and I just told them all of my crap, which is a lot for her.
Right.
But she's still the same in the sense of like, we are trying to help people, and now we just know another person and another player in the game. And like, yes, it's somebody that is a problem for me, but like, it doesn't change that we're still gonna do this. She's just needing to process. So she's still driven, she's just a little like, I need a
The
nap,
rules of the
and
game changed a little bit, and now
a
she's
little in the sense of,
adjusting.
like, yeah,
Yeah.
not that it's gonna change.
Like course correcting.
Sure. It's not changing her side, it's not changing how she'll act or anything like that. It's just, this is new information that needs to be put into the playbook a little bit. But no
Okay.
no major change. It's just a little shock. And also, holy crap, I've told them more about myself in the last X amount of game time than how long we've been on ships together. Kind of vibe. Yeah, but it's...
Sleep sounds good then. If you can.
I'll sleep. I just don't know if I won't wake up screaming. Sorry.
Okay. Is everybody heading off to their like respective cabins and things to go to sleep? Is anybody else doing anything this evening, or are you all heading off to bed?
I would sneak off to catch Rowan before she went to bed. By myself.
Have no problem.
And Thixus would kind of be as sneaky as he can be with his pants.
With Tea Kettle following you constantly.
Yeah.
Make a perception check.
Perception, you got it.
Both of you. This is.
Was that this both of us?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not great.
Terrible. it's a 4.
Okay.
It's a 12.
Okay.
We
Proceed.
noticed nothing.
Mercy.
Tea Kettle's there. it's fine.
I would just kind of. Rowan would probably be able to hear me coming.
Yeah. With a
But,
12, I can hear Thixus' pants, I assume.
Sure.
Okay. I opened the door before he knocked.
Oh, hi. I guess you heard me coming.
There was a bucket a little while, but it's canon, Rowan does not make fun of Thixus' pants.
Okay.
I wanted to apologize to you, Rowan. I know that there was a lot going on, and I made a promise, and I broke it. And I wanted to apologize to you first.
Thixus? I mean, you're forgiven no matter what it is, but I don't remember a promise made or broken.
Well, it wasn't to you technically. Do you remember Willow?
Yeah, of course I remember Willow.
Well, we had a strange conversation a while back, before this whole mess started. And she told me that... Well, she told me that the next time that you saw him, that I was supposed to stop you or hold you back. I think Willow can see into the future or something. I think Willow knew this was going to happen somehow.
Like,
And I just let it... I didn't put enough attention to it. I don't know. But now I'm starting to realize it happened.
Rowan carefully reaches out because she never wants to scare Lexus, and like just takes one of his hands, like very gently. Lexus, I didn't know it was him. You didn't know who the him could be. You didn't know what a bad guy could. How could you have known that was the person? And I didn't follow him. I ran after him in the middle of a lava pit in a dragon horde, but I didn't jump onto a dragon's back after him. So technically you kept your promise. And I think you would have stopped me from doing that.
I think you're giving me a lot more credit than I deserve.
I still think you didn't know enough. Because I didn't know it was him. You didn't break a promise, Lexus. Or even if you had, this, you couldn't have known.
So I must ask. The next time we do see him, what's the plan? Do we turn him into a pile of ash? I can do that for you, you know.
The plan next time is to make sure everyone on our crew and everyone on our team survives. And if that means he's Ash, he's Ash. You guys are a million times more important than him.
You know the magic user that was with him? Did you see how he stopped my spells?
Yes, I think that means we take him out first next time. Because for as strong as I can be, as quick as Captain is, as ferocious as Scylla is, and for as surprising as Nimue can be with all the tricks she has up her sleeve.
You can jump like a mile.
She can. But Lexus, you're the one.
And I spent like a mile in like an ape's mouth.
That was the best place for you in that moment. But Lexus,
I have so many traumatic memories from this place.
We'll leave soon, I promise, Lexus. And she's like now holding his shoulders. Lexus.
Lexus comes in for a hug.
She hugs him, and as she's hugging him, she's like slowly like petting the back of his head and like, it's okay, honey.
You guys,
Oh, no.
as you're hugging, you guys hear the sound of Thixis's pants approaching you.
Tea kettle.
Yeah. You turn and Tea Kettle is like is there, and Tea Kettle like kind of comes up towards both of you, looking you over with sort of an appraising look with her like big owlish eyes, and she kind of looks at Thixis, she looks at you, and she reaches up, like towards your, like kind of your collar, Rowan, and sort of like fishes around at your collar, and gets a bird finger under the chain around your neck and pulls the cardinal feather out and like holds it up. And she says in Murderbeard's voice, she goes, "Rowan." And then in Nimwe's voice, she goes, "Fuck them." And she reaches up and she like ruffles at her own neck and pulls out a black feather and like drops the cardinal feather and gives you that instead.
I immediately start replacing the feather.
She like turns and she like, it's quite a stretch. She has to reach pretty high up. She like pats Thixis on the top of the head, and then like just leaves, just like Thixis pants squeaking.
I imagine
Leaves
it
the
sounds
area.
like when SpongeBob gets the squeaky. But
Yeah, yeah.
that's what it sounds like.
In my head. I look back at Thixis and I just say, "We'll take out the spellcaster, and then you'll kick everyone's ass, and then we'll go back to Glasgow, and we'll tell Willow you saved everyone, and we'll get you a whole new pirate hat, and we'll stay on Pirate Island until we get bored and need new books, and then we'll go on a trip, okay?"
Oh, okay, that sounds great. Yeah. Yeah. Does Tea Kettle follow you around like that too?
I am not the most perceptive, and I think making
Like
my
it's like
armor-
all the time. Like I just turn around and there Tea Kettle is.
part of me thinks it's either maybe the captain put her up to it out of pure comedy, and also maybe it's just more fun to imitate your pants than the clanking of my armor.
There.
But because mine's like, you hear me coming no matter what. Like I'm kind of noisy. But thank you, Thixis.
Well, thank you. Thank you for opening up to everyone and sharing a bit of your story with us. So that way we can better help you.
I think I don't even know if it's about helping me anymore, but thank you. I think it's somewhere in all
now
of
it's
that
going to be
will help everyone else.
agreed. Well, get some sleep. I'll see you in the morning.
I apologize for screaming if that scares you in the night. If I scream, I don't know. It's been a while.
Hey, it's better you screaming than I've been known to just summon things out of the abyss.
Dude,
It happens.
Wait, while you're dreaming?
You never know when it's gonna happen. I mean, I tell you.
I wonder why I wonder if that's why Tea Kettle follows you, because she's hoping for like gold or something else to show up.
But tell her to stay away, because sometimes I just explode.
You explode?
Sometimes.
I think I need more context and also less context at the same time.
I mean, you've seen me disappear by accident.
Yeah, I don't like when you do that. That's really terrifying.
Things just happen. I just don't know how to. I don't know how to describe it.
One time I sneezed and 7 gallons of tomato sauce came out. I don't know how it happened.
Oh my god.
I think we'll
We need
we'll
to
work
fix
on
that. It sounds like a
The troll-
troubleshooting problem.
The trolls in the Hobbit. Ah, look what just came.
Oh, I get there. This is why Rowan and Thixis have cabins next to each other, though. Because we have problems sometimes.
Okay.
Scylla, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, cool. My thing is not lighting up, and so yeah. Scylla, like, before going to bed at night, is gonna go out somewhere on the ship, like maybe to the front of it or up in the crow's nest, and she's just gonna like sit and like she feels having seen what was happening, the elementals like being controlled and then like unbound, and then there's like this dragon and shit. She feels like a little like disconnected from like her purpose and what she was trying to achieve, and feels like a little bit like of like a failure to help like these energies of like the earth that were like in need, and like that's the kind of energy that it's like her goal to like try to like understand and become more connected with. And so like the fact that like we stopped them, but they were like, I think they were still like impacted by everything that happened. It just feels like a little bit of a failure. So she's gonna sit and just like meditate under the moon. I don't know if maybe it's a new moon, so maybe there isn't a moon there. But and then she just like wants to just like listen to like the wind and the sea as they're on their ship. And then when she's done with that, she will go to bed. But she feels like a little bit of like a ideological failure in herself, if that makes sense.
Sure.
And so she's just trying to like realign with her own purpose, because she's been like, all of that made her realize like I've been focusing on other things, and those things are important, but they're not. But like in not focusing on her own goals, she feels like she failed to achieve like something that was connected to it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, as I struggle with my microphone, which has just
Oh no!
gone on a magical journey here. Give me one sec. Oh god, now all my monitors are turning off. This is an unmitigated
Oh,
disaster.
Phyxis got player inspiration from chat.
Thank you, chat.
GG chat. Yeah, who the hell is Droplet? Who the fuck?
I don't know.
I think we just need to collect like a shit ton of feathers for Rowan, and just have eventually just like a feather necklace.
What
It's a
do you think
boa.
is currently going in my Etsy shop? Like, I made a note to myself in my notes to like get another feather.
Feather boa.
Boa.
We'll eventually have a boa.
Okay.
Oh, everyone's screen froze except for Matt's.
It's because my shit is all freaking out. Hang on.
Oh no!
no.
Technical difficulties.
What's happening?
What
My
the-
monitors are
what's
like rapidly turning on and off. Okay.
What did you
All right,
Welcome
that
back.
should be
Oh,
fixed.
wait, it's back, it's back.
Yeah, I got it. I'm not
Yes,
touching.
fixed.
I'm not touching anything the rest of the night. Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
Like an in-game question, not just like a
Oh,
question. Is it plausible that somewhere on the ship, specifically, since Murderbeard is of the dwarven persuasion, that he would have either like mining equipment or like jeweler's equipment?
I'm gonna say no. Because you guys like stole this ship. And that's a specific set of stuff.
It's
That
not
is
stuff
easily
the aliens would have.
easily enough. No, the aliens would not have mining and or jeweler's equipment like on a ship. Easily enough acquirable, but like I am going to like require you to acquire it.
Okay.
Sela, before we move on, after I've destroyed my entire microphone, Are you using any like specific abilities of your class or anything like that in this endeavor, or is this just a thing? You're just doing this thing.
You know what? I don't have. I will. You know what? I will do something. I will do a druidy thing.
Okay.
I will take, an owl feather, and as I'm sitting there, I just put it down on the ground in front of me, and I cast Enhance Ability Owl's Wisdom on myself to give myself advantage on wisdom checks, and then I will listen to the wind and the waves, and I'm not expecting to like necessarily like do. I'm not like doing. I literally don't have 1,000 gold piece thing to scry or anything like that, so I can't like do all of these things. But yeah, just
make
like
a. You said you're giving yourself wisdom advantage on wisdom.
Wisdom checks, yeah.
Make an insight is wisdom, right?
Yes.
Make an insight check as you do this meditation.
Okay. That was almost a nat 20, but it's not. Insight. Oh, that's another 21. Whoa, that's
21?
2 21s on an insight check. Okay, yeah, 21.
You meditate under the moonlight. You're listening for the sort of the wind and the waves and the sort of the sounds of the ocean around you. But you find your senses are clouded somewhat as the smell of the salt air is undercut by the sulfurous stench of the erupting volcano. The calm and dark of the night of the new moon is broken by the ruddy reddish hue of the clouded sky in the vicinity of this like erupting volcano. The sound of the wind and the water is drowned out by the ever-present faint sort of like roiling, bubbling rumble of magma flowing in channels down the sides of Mount Ioliquis. You find that the volcano is almost seems to be preventing you from like finding your center.
Yeah. Yeah, that's expected. And we're still like near this island.
You have moved like if Ioliquis is there, you guys have moved like kind of out here-ish so that like your ship is not in danger because there's like active magma flowing down and like cooling and forming new like land pieces here. So in order to not accidentally get trapped like inside the atoll, you guys did like sail out to here. So you're like chilling out over.
Okay, so we're not in like lava.
No,
like,
you are not in
poison
danger
air
of being
and
overrun by lava currently. No.
Okay. Have we like short rested in this time?
No,
since
but
coming back?
you are about to take a long rest.
Okay. Well, if we haven't short rested, then my sheet is like reset right now, but I'm pretty sure I like need to. I used everything. Like I remember using everything. So, Scylla's just gonna be really frustrated, and just going to think about what to do next because she needs time to think about it. So she's gonna go to sleep.
Okay.
So I can't turn into a bird and fly away, or turn into a thing and swim away. So yeah.
Okay. So the night passes without incident. You guys rest, you recover, you bandage your wounds, heal yourselves up. there is no damage to the ship that is like an imminent danger to it. So in like, to be respectful of the fact that you guys had kind of a day, Anna Cromwell holds off repairs to begin on the ship until the morning so that you guys can like rest peacefully without a bunch of like sawing and hammering and stuff going on the ship. So you have a quiet, peaceful night. You wake up maybe a little bit late, later than you normally would the next morning. As the ship is beginning to like come to life. Anna Cromwell is up with the first shift and begins making repairs on the vessel from the damage that it took while they were engaging the Ignean fleet while you guys were inside the mountain. And as you sort of emerge from your various cabins and come out onto the deck, you see that Apora is in conference with an Arakocra that you immediately recognize as Israk, the leader of the Brightfeather clan, and a goblin which you have not seen before. As you guys kind of like approach, Poor turns to you and says, Captain, officers, you are familiar with Israk of the Bright Feather. May I introduce you to Grivart? He is the... I'm not sure what the appropriate term would be, but he leads the Nug goblins here.
It's good to meet you.
This is Apora Dasan speaking, right?
Yes.
I missed that part. Okay.
Grivart sort of like looks to Israk, who kind of do any of you speak Goblin just as a?
Nope.
Okay.
No.
Israk
if we go underwater, I can.
Israk translates in this like sort of harsh like sort of language, and Grivart turns back to you and like kind of bows his big bulbous head in deference to you. Apora says, we were just discussing the matters of most import within the atoll that you might wish to turn your attentions to, so long as we remain here.
What needs attention, Apora?
And
also, Apora, do you speak Goblin?
I do not.
Okay. Just checking.
Apora says, Israk has informed me that there are a number of things that are most pressing which might benefit from one or multiple of your involvements. They are all somewhat rapidly evolving situations, so you will either need to split up or decide which you wish to attend to, and the goblins and Arakocra will deal with the others on their own. They have told me there are 4 things going on within the atoll currently that are worthy of your attention. Apora gestures to Grivart and says, the goblins of the Nug tribe have captured a number of Igneans from the sunken vessel that fled into the jungle. They are holding them at one of their outposts. They have agreed to keep them prisoner if you wish the opportunity to speak to them and decide what will happen to them. As I understand, should you not be interested in these Ignean soldiers, the Nug tribe's preferred method will be to eat them, I think. Apora says...
Even if we talk to them, they can eat them afterwards.
Yeah, let's get the information and then they can have dinner.
Yeah, like I don't care about the eating part.
Apora says, similarly, on the far side of the atoll, there is a lava channel which is steadily making its way towards one of the Nug tribe's settlements. The goblins have requested any assistance that could be spared in evacuating their people from the village before the magma flow destroys it.
We stop the magma flow.
Apora's like,
Can you stop a magma flow?
I'm just
cast tidal wave on a magma flow.
I'm just the quest giver. You figure it out when you get there if you choose to look into it.
Let's get all the details.
Yeah, let's get all four and then we'll decide what we're doing it with what plan.
Apora says, the Ignean ship that was partially sunk is still grounded inside the atoll.
I mean, it is pretty sticky here with all the sulfur.
it's yes. I presume you have interest in scouring it. I know Miss Cromwell has requested, at the very least, that a salvage crew be sent to strip it of resources and ammunition. And Apora gestures to Israk and says, and the chieftainess of the Bright Feather tells me that one of their roosting plateaus was damaged by an errant piece of debris from the eruption of the volcano. They have a nesting chamber with several eggs inside it that is in imminent danger of collapsing. They are hesitant to proceed any further lest they trigger a full collapse before the eggs can be retrieved.
Sorry, I missed the last one. What was the last one?
So I'll repeat them all in a
Not a poor voice.
Okay.
So you have four possible things that can be attended to. You can split up and do all of them. You can go, in any number of groups and do, a couple of them and skip others, whatever you want to do. But they're all actively happening. So any ones that you choose not to engage with will resolve without you. The four options, the four things before you. You'll remember from last time that several of the surviving Ignean naval officers off of that ship fled into the jungle, and the goblins were chasing them down. The goblins have captured a bunch of them and are now holding them and have agreed to leave them alive and give them to you to do with whatever you see fit. The Nug tribe has a small settlement on part of the atoll, which is currently in the path of a newly formed land bridge and lava channel. So there's lava coming for their village that is going to destroy their village, and they are trying to evacuate everybody and get out of the way before their village is magma'd. The Ignean ship is there for the searching and plundering and whatever. At the very least, salvaged for materials, but it is it's not going to it's not gonna stay where it is forever. Like eventually, it is gonna like break free of like the rock it's wedged on and sink. And then the fourth one is on one of those like high plateaus that the Arakocra have like set their villages on. That one of their like roosting places is where like they keep their eggs, was hit by like a flying piece of rock from the mountain when the top of the mountain blew off, and is like eminently like cracked and going to like fall. And they're just like kind of holding right now because they're worried that if they go in, they could like anything could set it off to like fall. So they're trying to like they want to get their eggs out of there before this thing falls. So those are the 4 things going on.
Super like quick, just like question.
And the volcano is still erupting.
And the
obviously,
volcano is
that's
still erupting.
that's another thing. But
Let's go in the volcano. Were those plateaus? They lived on like mountain like stone plateaus, right? Like
yeah. So like the atoll that surrounds the island has these like tall, sort of like spired rock formations, and the Arakocra like make their homes in and among the like the areas of those.
Okay. I could help with literally all of those things. So, how do we want to do this?
Well, like I said, would casting tidal wave on the lava solidify it?
I think that would make the tidal wave turn to steam, and the lava would continue to flow, considering it is coming from an entire volcano. And the tidal wave cannot stop a volcano. You will be hard-pressed to find things that can stop lava from flowing.
Okay.
Apora says, like, though the concept of diverting the lava does not necessarily need to be discounted.
That is also true.
Even if we have something small enough we could put in the way, I could make it bigger.
But doesn't that have a limited time?
It does.
How long can that spell last, Lexus?
I would give it about 60 seconds.
Do we have
In
any,
hindsight,
like,
that's probably not a good idea.
I just don't know if it's long enough. If it
I wouldn't be opposed to going to have a chat with our friends.
I think first impressions, we can definitely send Anna and like a crew to get whatever supplies from the ship that's half sunk, and that's fine. We can get what we need from that.
I can give 10 people water breathing if we want to send a crew.
Yeah, because then they can search a little deeper for any paperwork or anything that might be important.
Yeah, anything.
That might be good. Nimue, I hate to always use your telepathic connection powers, but I can't.
You can
ask
use me. I
this.
don't mind. I'm giving you permission.
Can you ask Israk the area that's broken by the nesting? It's all just stone, or is there plants in the area?
When I do this, I'm translating. Matt.
Israk tells you that there is vegetation like atop the like
Use,
atop
you
the
go
plateau.
Professor
There
X
is some
hands.
vegetation up there.
The universal symbol for Nimue translating.
Yeah.
I look at
Professor X hands.
I look at Sela. Sela, do you? I know you remember. I don't know why I was gonna ask that in such a dumb way. The thing you did on Naporia to help the plants grow.
Am I unmuted now?
Yes, you're good.
Yes, you are.
I can do that now.
I had prepared it this morning with the expectation that some of the local plant life had been harmed in the eruption.
I wonder if I concentrated in that area long enough, if the roots could hold up the space from collapsing. If that would be a sustainable fix. I've never done it. I don't know if I'm the one who should try it. I don't know if there's a space I could sit up there that wouldn't cause the collapse, but...
Is this still happening? All of this?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna, yeah.
So
Sorry,
East
my
Rock.
idea.
I'm trying to eat munchies. I can't.
That's fine.
I need my hands.
I just need to confirm that it was still gone. So East Rock,
Yes.
whose voice I forget again, will say like in response, tells you guys that like at least they don't need the plateau is gonna fall. Like that's fine. They just need there are 5 eggs in the roost in that particular area that like. If you guys can do something to like forestall it long enough that somebody can go in and get those eggs and get back out, like that's fine. They don't like they're unconcerned at this point with like if the
They just want
the peak falls, the peak falls. Like they just want to get the eggs.
Second question to be translated through Nimai to East Rock. How big of a space inside is it in there, and how big are the eggs? Like, could I carry all 5? Oh wait, I don't need to carry all 5. Could we technically put 5 of them in the bags? The bag of holding?
You wherever you want.
But can I
They're
fit-
like
can I fit
Oh,
in-
the hole?
Or in the hole, one or the other.
they're like yay big.
That would fit in the bag of holding though, or in the
Yeah,
or in the
you'd be able
hole.
to put that in the bag of holding.
And or any of us fit in there, and not crush the eggs?
Into the bag?
No, into the nesting
Oh,
area. by
absolutely.
the
Like it's like there's
space
like a
okay.
door to go
I'm
in.
in my vision, I just see like a very small space where like
Nope,
the
no,
eggs,
no,
the
it's
eggs
like-
just fit, and I'm like,
I have an idea.
No,
I have an
it's like
idea.
it's like a chamber that you can enter.
well,
You take the carpet with the portable hole,
I forgot we have a carpet.
and that way you're not even putting pressure on the ground. So in theory, it shouldn't collapse as long as you don't fuck with anything too much. You're not walking.
I forgot about the carpet. I was gonna use spells. I was gonna Misty Step. I
No,
was gonna have one of them fly me up there.
Don't
And
put your feet on the floor. Don't do it.
yeah.
Keep your feet off the floor.
I was going to suggest using the carpet and the hole to help evacuate the goblins, but that's a better
We
idea.
also have the ship for that though. Couldn't we just take?
I
the
can
whole
just fly in and pick all of them up.
ship? Couldn't the air cocker also just help with that too, since they are also flying?
They will as well. The thing with like the goblin village is like it's not just the people, like they're also trying to get like all of their like earthly belongings out of the way of being destroyed. So it's like there's like livestock involved. There's luggage, goblin luggage, whatever that looks like.
Probably a lot of bones.
Yeah, a lot of bones.
What can Rowan's thinking out loud, but also Brittany's thinking out loud? What can stop a magma flow?
Not much.
I really don't think we have the power level for that.
I don't think we're at that level
Apora,
yet.
I mean, I
is
have stone shape, but
What's Apora doing?
Apora,
Apora's
well,
smarter than all
Apora
of us.
is like many of these tasks are time sensitive, as I indicated. Perhaps if you intend to deal with all or most of them, decide who is going where and set off and survey the situations. It will be likely easier to figure out how to proceed without having to do it from here, sight unseen.
okay. So I think we want to do. I give water breathing to whoever Anna Cromwell and her 9 other people that want to go look
Okay.
at the ship. I just give them water breathing and I ritually cast it. Then we're not going to deal with that one.
So
we're going to give it to them.
You skip that one altogether. You let Anna Cromwell go deal with that. That is perfectly acceptable. So they're going to go salvage the alien ship. They will bring back materials, supplies, loot, and anything like interesting that they find that they think you might want to see. They are
Who
off
wants the carpet and the hole for the eggs? I feel like some.
What's the hole for in the eggs situation?
to the eggs.
So their eggs are not just like loose sitting
If
on
we
the flying
fly up
carpet
on
rolling
the
around.
carpet, we put the eggs in the hole, so we
So
can
that
get them
we're
all
not,
out, or
like-
put the eggs in the bag
like,
of
hey,
holding,
drop.
so that they don't break as we get them out of the nest.
I-
Fly into nesting grounds. Don't
Right.
touch ground. Pick up egg. Put egg in
Put egg
either
in
bag
hole.
of holding or in hole, so it does not get damaged. Fly out.
Bag
So
of
the
holding,
eggs are just
bag of
sitting
holding, I
loose.
understand. Hole, I do not.
I think she just said hole because it was another option other than bag of
It's
holding.
just a plain
portable
extra
hole.
planar
That
space where
isn't-
they will be secure and not
What's
rolling
not
off
sitting
the
on the
carpet
carpet and
as we're
flying
flying
out
around.
to death.
The portable hole just makes a hole in whatever you put it on.
Oh, it's not a storage. It's
I
just a
thought
hole.
it was a
Well,
storage.
the,
I thought it was a
portable
10-foot
hole is like it has a depth. Yeah,
It has a depth.
It has depth.
Yeah, I
I
thought it
promise you,
created
we
like
have
an
this-
extra
we have it-
dimensional
It does,
space
it
or
creates
something
We,
like that.
it does because we've hotboxed it in the
We
Wednesday
pop
game.
the shit out of our portable hole. It's so good. It's so good.
I like
We
how
also
that's
put a
why you
watch
guys
light in
know
it.
that there's depth.
Yeah, it's 10 feet deep. It's a 10
Matt's
foot deep
regretting his
hole,
choices on giving us a portable.
and it's 6 feet in diameter, 10
It's
feet.
oh,
deep.
by the way,
We
it's
also-
not. I should point out, it's absolutely not 6 feet in diameter. The portable hole that you guys have is like this big.
Okay, I need
Okay,
to
so
edit
they can
that
go in the
then.
bag of holding, and that's fine. The eggs can go in the bag of
Me-
holding.
The eggs can go in the bag of holding.
Okay.
We'll talk about the portable hole later. I have
Yeah.
Okay.
visions for the portable hole that are a
Oh,
little
wait,
Wait, couldn't
different.
we put the magma through the portable? No, wait, now it has a limited depth. Never mind. Send it right down to the Ignean Empire. Anyway.
Someone who is
Fill a bag of
probably
holding with
either
magma.
somebody who is either strong or able to keep their balance should probably go to try to grab the eggs
I'll
on the
do it.
carpet,
I guess I'll do it.
right?
Yeah, I'm good at acrobatics.
I
That
look at-
immediately gets rid of me.
Sorry, thanks.
I just put my arm around Thixus. Did you summon anything last night, Thixus, while you were sleeping?
I don't know, I was asleep.
Is that what the kids are
didn't hear
calling it these days?
No, Kath. I
I
look
don't
at
know, ask Tea Kettle, she's always around.
I'm good.
Make a perception check real quick, like this.
She's not gonna be there.
He rolls a
Oh,
one,
actually,
she's
real
directly
good.
behind him.
A 17.
Hey!
Tea kettle's like 8 feet from you.
See?
So you turn. Tea kettle goes.
It just
Oh my god,
walks
she's
away.
got thumbs now!
She's always had thumbs. She's like she only has four fingers, but she's got like
Oh.
a 3-fingered claw hand and a thumb.
Apora, I have a question for you. You said
Yes.
don't discount diverting the magma. Being
Yes.
probably the smartest person on the ship, how would you divert the magma?
Given enough time and the ability to do so, big hole. Or is like, if you drive a big channel, the magma will flow into
We
it
take
and
the
around the
magma
village.
and push it somewhere else.
I think we need that Walter guy from that other group. He had a shovel.
This is they say
I don't think
I
we
have
need
not.
him.
I've not seen the situation myself to know the landscape, but if earth and or water could be moved and redirected, it is theoretically possible to channel the magma away from the village, but you will have to survey the area to ensure that.
Bending.
Too lazy to play by, so says pee on one side. Lots of pee. Cools it right off.
Yes. My suggestion is to start drinking Gatorade and Pedialyte now. You're going to need
Way
a lot
ahead
of
of you.
pee.
Okay, so Anna's going to deal
Anna's
with
going to the ship.
alien ship. Nimwe's gonna go fly and get the eggs. Who wants to? Does anyone desperately want to go interrogate the Igneans? And
What if Thixus wanted to?
I guess maybe Thixus and I'll do that.
Exis, do you? All right, both of you. Come here. Who wants to be more persuasive and who wants to be better at reading people?
Lexus should probably be more persuasive. I'm already pretty good.
Thanks,
Well,
this is
I get
already
to-
pretty good.
Okay,
Being
here-
persuasive. Insight could probably use a little buffer.
I can make you better at one or the other, but it's concentration, which I didn't. So I can only do one.
Yeah, I'm good. I don't need it to do it on things.
I have a +9 persuasion. I have a +1 in insight.
Oh my god, he's actually better than me.
At insight?
No, at persuasion.
Give him an insight bump, yeah?
Weird, because Lexus has never been able to persuade me to do anything.
Listen,
That's 'cause
if
you're
you
just
guys
stubborn.
are not going to pick up what's being put down, I will have to do it for you. Which one of you wants to be good cop and which one of you wants to be bad cop? I thought that
You
was
said you'd
very
only
clear.
Do it once.
Yeah, I can. Well, I can. Okay.
I feel like it's very
I can
obvious
cast.
that
I
Murderbeard
can
is bad
cast.
cop.
I can cast enhance ability. It is
Well, since
concentration
I've already got, why don't you
for
take
1
insight?
hour.
Since I've already got like a +9 in persuasion.
But
why
I
don't
thought you just
take
said you can only
insight?
do it on one of us.
Right. So just
Yes,
you
but
take
his
the insight.
persuasion is
Insight bump.
What's your
insight?
0.
Oh gosh.
Captain.
Okay. I go and when it's time for everybody to leave, I will give you enhance ability. But it's not time to go yet.
And I look at Sela. I guess you and I are gonna go deal with the magma and look at the magma?
Okay.
Magma.
See what
Of all of the people in this crew who would be best at diverting it, that's probably me.
Fair.
All right.
And you can probably carry several goblins.
At least.
Okay, so
Throw
Anna
some goblins
is...
out of the way.
They get 10 people get water breathing with Anna.
That's fine.
Well, Anna and 9 people.
Yep, Anna is going off on her own. We're not going to see that scene. They will deliver the synopsis of that upon all of the return. We will just visit each of the 3 of your scenes in turn. Let's do it this way. Nimue, Murderbeard, or Thyxis, and Sela or Rowan roll a d20. We will do these scenes in the order of highest to lowest. How you guys roll?
Who wants to
3.
roll?
You can roll for it, Ross.
3 for Nimue.
Oh, Rowan.
You want me to roll?
Yeah.
Tough to beat for last on that 3.
I know, right?
9.
9.
4.
Wow!
Oh,
Wow.
almost did it.
Almost did it.
Okay, with a 9, then the first scene that we're going to follow. Okay, so you guys, like,
Nice.
hands in, break.
Oh, team.
Nimue, you hop on the flying carpet.
Sela was gonna cast her thing, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you do your thing.
I cast I put a little owl feather into Captain's hat, and I cast enhance ability owls, whatever. And now he has owls wisdom. He has advantage on wisdom checks
All right.
for 1 hour. Ooh, I did not mean to cast that at 4th level. Jesus Christ. Well, wait, no. I cast it at 3rd level, and I give it to Thyxis too.
There you
See
go.
everything.
I give them 2.
Ooh.
I give Thyxis a little owl feather in his
You guys
shirt.
become extremely insightful, and you realize that
Oh my god, we're not real!
so you guys get that. You are given like directions. You'll take a rowboat from the Grimm's Folly onto where the Nug goblins have these prisoners. Sela and Rowan, Grievard comes over to you guys to whatever method you are using to get where you're going. He's gonna go with you because he can direct you to where the village you need to go is. Nimue, you hop onto the flying carpet, and Israk takes to the sky and will fly with you and lead you to where you are going. And Anna Cromwell immediately begins shouting orders and gathering people for Sela to give their water breathing, and gathers up another rowboat with tools and all the things that will be needed, and prepares to set off on the salvage mission. So we will first follow Murderbeard and Thyxis as you guys row your boat to a piece of beach that is not too far from where the Grimm's Folly was moored. It doesn't take you very long to get there. You moor your boat. A goblin comes trotting out of the woods.
While we're rowing, can I be asking Murderbeard? Okay, Captain? What's the play here? What information do we need to find through this?
I think we definitely want to know what their main mission was. If there's
we need to know where they're going, right?
Yeah, where they were going, where they were going and what they were doing. If there are any other Ignians in the general vicinity that we should know about. That's probably the main stuff. Maybe if there was any special cargo on the ship.
Okay.
I don't know. Can you think of anything else?
What happens when if they don't give us the information? What's the play then? I mean, we just let the goblins start eating one of them?
Yeah, how many of them are there? Maybe we could use goblin gnawing as an intimidation tactic.
There are.
Got it. Yeah.
We also want to know who else they were working with, and also what the hell was that ritual?
There are 5 Ignians.
Thanks, gods from DM chat.
Wow, did you hear that on the breeze?
Listen, we would have discussed it before leaving.
Yeah, no, that's information you guys had already from your debriefing.
We would have been like, here's what you should ask. It's there.
Okay, good. So a goblin comes running out. He runs up to you, and he says,
we didn't bring a translator."
Oh, what? Luckily enough, he runs up to you and he goes, "Hello!"
Oh, thank God.
Oh, we got one that speaks common. Thank the gods.
I am Prix. I am only goblin and Nug tribe who speak common tongue.
Are you sure there's not somebody else?
There is not. There is only Prix. I speak common. This is what I sound like. And this is what we're doing for the next indiscernible amount of minutes.
Good.
Prix's common is very good. I mean, it's good.
Okay.
Prix went to Yale.
And then he points and it's just a bunch of rocks on the beach. Inside the Yale.
Yale is a species of tree. It is... There is common words carved into tree. Prix studied them. Prix learned common tongue. Come. We have long ear... What is it you... in water people say? Scallywags.
Hey, only we can use that word.
Oh,
Don't say that.
sorry.
You can't say that unless you're a pirate.
Prix did not mean to appropriate. Come. Prix
Wait,
leads you off.
one thing before we go in there.
Yes.
We need you to summon your biggest, scariest, Ignian-eaten looking goblin and bring him with us.
Real sharp teeth.
Okay.
Yeah, a real...
Okay. Clarifying question.
Yes.
Do you want goblin that looks most scary? Or do you want goblin that is most crazy?
Gosh.
Follow-up question. Are they the same goblin?
No, it's 2 goblins.
Okay, bring both of them.
Okay, let's go.
And they better have very distinct voices that are different from yours.
Are you telling Prix that you think all goblins sound alike? Now who is insensitive?
And we'll call it even then.
Okay. No harm, no foul. Let's go. You are led into the jungle. After about a 10-minute walk, you were brought to essentially a makeshift camp, where there are 5 Ignean naval officers, very dirty, disheveled, disarmed, tied up in the center of the camp. There are a number of goblins around.
Thixus and I definitely on the boat would have agreed that Thixus is good cop and Murderbeard is bad cop.
Okay. You arrive at the camp. Prix brings you to the center of this little area, and as you go in Goblin, he goes Zez. Calf.
His common is so much better.
2 goblins come from the sides and come and stand next to you. One of them is the beefiest goblin you have ever seen. He's 3'8", which is huge for a goblin. He's big. That one is the one that Prix referred to as Zez. And the other one comes up and is narrow, but has dead doll eyes. That is the one that was referred to as Calf. And they come up and they stay next to you, and Zez goes and Calf just goes
Yeah, make sure they know not to do anything until they're told.
Prick goes and Zez goes, and Calf goes, and just locks eyes with one of the Igneans, who just looks at you guys.
Were there, did you say 3?
5.
5. Okay. Oh, planted. Oh, good. There's some fodder in here. As we're walking up, as an intimidation tactic to Thixus, I'm sort of whispering, but loud enough that they can hear. We could definitely let them eat 1 or 2, and we'd still be fine, right?
Make an intimidation check.
I would 100% agree.
That's a 29.
Okay, you say that, and immediately one of the elves in common says, "I think that will not be necessary, Master Dwarf. I am more than willing to negotiate with you to whatever terms you find agreeable."
I'll decide what's necessary around here.
As you see fit.
Are they in are they caged?
No, they're tied
or
up.
They're just tied.
There's stakes driven into the ground, and they are tied like this to them.
Now you mentioned they were naval officers.
They're naval. They're the one who spoke to you. Has a slightly more ornate uniform. The others just seem to be normal sailors.
Okay. Now I've seen a Commodore before.
Sure.
Do any of them look like they're as decorated as the Commodore
Definitely
was? Okay. Well, I'm thrilled that you are more willing to cooperate, because I would hate to have any of these sharp teeth be gnawing on me well, I guess what my dwarf friend here is trying to say is we're here to just ask you a few questions.
He says, "I will answer anything I am able to."
So you were sent here on a specific task. Who were the people you were aiding?
He says, "Unfortunately, the details of their mission were not deemed to be shared with us. aboard my vessel, there were 5 individuals who were not of the Ignis Navy.
The dog just
Wild
shred something
dogs
in the
this-
background.
There's a lot of wild dogs in this island. While Thixus is talking,
Oh no,
Murderbird
the
will-
dog is setting them free.
While Thixus is talking, Murderbird will like have taken out an apple and a dagger and been like cutting and eating an apple really like creepily.
Staring at them.
Yeah.
We've had to start putting a baby gate in front of the door on the inside of my office. Otherwise, Olive decides that because she has learned how to operate the door handle, she can just come and go as she pleases. But sometimes my human spouse forgets that that's there, and she opens the door and knocks the baby gate down.
That is impressive that your dog can open your doors.
Yeah, she figured out she can like, because it's one of these like these handles, so she figured out that if she just like whaps at it hard enough, it'll pop open, and then she can bang it open. So she started making a habit of like, when I was streaming, she would be, she'd be out with Emily and she'd be like, I don't know what's going on in there, and then she would just like bash her way in here. Or if I would put her in here, she'd be like, actually, I'm gonna check out what's going on out there, and she would bash her way out. So it's like, okay, well, before she destroys the door, we're gonna put a stop to this.
It sounds like you need to replace all your handles with knobs.
Yeah.
Figures out how to open those too.
Yeah. So what was he saying? He was saying
About the people on his ship or something?
he was saying the vessel that we served aboard that is currently moored against one of the islands in this chain here, after it was abandoned by the rest of the battle group, was ferrying 5 individuals who are not of the Emperor's Imperial Army, to our knowledge. We were not told who specifically they were or what their mission was, simply that we were to follow their commands. It was on their orders that our part of the battle group came here. And I can only presume on their orders that the remainder of the detachment left us for dead on this godforsaken spit of land. He says, I can tell you names, as I overheard them while we were traveling on the ship, but I know little else more about the individuals who were in command of this expedition.
I don't know. What you think, Captain? I think names would be very helpful, right?
And like Murderbeard like shucks a hunk up the apple and goes, yep.
He says, I would request terms of our negotiation before we proceed any further.
Yes.
My terms are...
Captain, I don't think he knows the magic word.
Yeah, my terms would be you tell us everything we want to know, and maybe I don't let the goblins eat you.
Make another intimidation roll.
24.
Several of
11
the other Agnians are like, and he says, my terms are similar, but slightly modified. I will tell you everything I know in exchange for assurances that myself and my men will not be harmed.
I cast Prestidigitation and make the sound of a stomach growling coming from one of the goblins.
One of the Ignians said, do either of you speak Elvish?
I do.
Kind of. We've agreed that...
Kind of. Okay.
Kind of.
So Flexus, you definitely understand this.
Definitely understands it.
You
more
get
than
like
can
the
speak
gist of it. One of the other Ignians like leans in to the guy who you've been talking to, and he says, Lieutenant, they are not messing around. Just tell them what they want to know. They don't want to be eaten by goblins.
That's a wise one right there.
He kind of turns back and he says, if we tell them everything that we know without securing assurances at our safety, which I believe is the best we were in a position to request, there is nothing to stop them from allowing the goblins to eat us after that. He turns back to you, and Murderbeard thanks us. He says, I shall further add to my offer, since you seem unpersuaded. I will tell you everything that I am able to provide about the battle group that we were with and those who we were ferrying. I will also give you my word that myself and my men will henceforth provide assistance if we are able. In return, in the form of a favor. If you help us to extricate ourselves from this place. He says, you understand. He gestures towards those with him. We are soldiers. We joined the navy of our homeland, as is considered noble and righteous to do. We followed their orders. And in exchange, we were given over in command to a group of strangers who led us into a death trap and then flew away on a dragon. And they and all of our fellow naval officers left us to be eaten by goblins. You will understand if my attitude towards my government and its naval military is less than favorable at this moment. My prime directive is assuring that myself and the fellows who have survived with me do not die here. If I can buy that freedom with any information that I have, I'm happy to do so.
Matt, if possible, do I believe him? Do I need to make an insight check?
You make an insight check, yeah.
All right. With advantage because of my spell, right?
Advantage.
All right. Well, that's still not good at all. Yeah, that's a 5.
He rolls a 9 on his opposing check. It seems sincere, as far as you can tell.
Gotta whisper to Captain. Kind of nice to have somebody on the inside, don't you think? What do you think?
That those terms sound agreeable.
He nods.
Yeah.
One of the other elves, like in Ignian, like hisses in his ear. He says, "They have threatened us to be eaten by goblins twice. How can you choose to accept their word? What if they are lying to us?" And in Elvish, he responds back. He says, "We have no other choice but to accept them at their word. If they are lying to us, we are already dead. It matters not." He turns to you and he says, "What do you wish to know?"
Well, how about let's start with names. Who were these individuals?
He said, "I know their leader was an individual, a human man. His first name was Milak. I do not know what his surname was. They had a spellcaster among their numbers.
Oh yeah. What's that name?
I only know his surname, which was Dusk Blossom. They called him by it in place of his name.
Dusk Blossom.
A bowman among their rank was a half-elf, I believe. He kept his hood up most of the time, but his name was Imbus Clearwood.
Imbus Clearwood.
The cleric among their party dressed themselves in the vestments of the Imperial Church. Her name was Lithoxe. I believe Fordril was her surname. And they had another woman with them. I do not know her specific speciality, but she was intimidating, to say the least, in her presence. I know that her name was Xena. Zina, sorry. Yeah.
Well, she spelled it wrong.
I don't know how I know that that's how it's spelled. I just do. I do not know her. I don't know her surname.
Surname Warrior Princess.
Yeah.
All one word.
All one word. Yeah.
All one word.
He says. This group boarded the vessel. The rumor is bearing a missive with the seal of the Emperor himself upon it. That they were on a mission with the authority to divert our vessel and a number of other ships in a small battle group from the main part of the Armada, which was making its way around the Cape to retake the territory on the western side of the continent.
So you have no idea what was in it for the Empire with the Brotherhood.
I did not. The what?
You didn't see the dragon?
I saw the dragon, which is
Okay.
I did not know ahead of time. The
You
dragon
didn't
is
know
what
ahead
I
of time.
presume was in it for the Empire. He says, but you said the Brotherhood, which I am
But the
not familiar
Brotherhood?
with.
You're
He
not
says,
familiar
I don't
with
know
the
what that
Brotherhood.
is.
Fair enough.
He looks to the others and he's like, and they're all like,
See, Captain, they're not going to know a thing about this stuff. They're left field.
Does the name Pendragon mean anything to you?
no. No.
Not a promising answer.
He says, I think he gets the sense that, you guys are not pleased with the amount of information they have. He goes, does the name Pallamides mean anything to you?
No, but I would like to know more.
He says, I have no other information than the name. I heard the leader, Malak, with his strange armor that he always wore, utter the name to one of the others.
Interesting.
He shrugs. He seems like a little disheartened that like you guys didn't jump at that more, as seemed like he was maybe hoping that would like earn him some goodwill.
So, you don't really have any information on what that ritual was or what exactly they were trying. I mean, we know they were trying to get a dragon, but like, you didn't know about any of that.
Ritual?
I'm gonna insight check to see if he's like
Sure, go ahead. One sec.
trying to be like ritual. I don't know. Is he L.A. noiring it, where he's like ritual?
Make an insight check.
I have advantage, right, from Scylla's magic. The first one is a 17, and the second one is a natural 20, baby.
Okay, with the natural 20, you don't get the sense that he is lying to you, but you do get the sense that like when you ask him like ritual, it like triggers some like you kind of see the gears in his head going, so you think he like that maybe kind of like sparked something to his mind that he did not like say to you.
Let me ask you something. You, I assume, have grew up in the Empire, sort of been like a part of you your whole life, correct?
I did, yes.
Let me ask you this. You have signed up for them, you know, you've offered your life essentially for them, you've taken a commission. And then they do things like send a bunch of guys to an island, don't tell them about it, and then they send a bunch of other guys to literally summon a fucking dragon. Does that sound like the guys who are up to good and a team you want to be playing on?
He says, I thought I made it extremely clear that I am currently grappling with the deep moral quandary of having my illusions of my empire and my homeland's moral fortitude shattered by the past several days' occurrences. That is why we're speaking. He says, at the present time, I was abandoned by my navy, left to die, chased through the woods by goblins, and am now being threatened with consumption by goblins at the hands of some pirates. I have not had a lot of time to sort of do the emotional soul-searching required to come to a cogent decision on this matter. But I am willing to tell you anything I can if it will keep me and the men and women who have served alongside me alive. Thus, I should ask you, what then is the point of your query? Come direct to the question you wish to ask me, sir.
Well, first of all, I just wanted you to be fully aware of the situation, since you were not inside the volcano, and we were.
They summoned a dragon, you say?
They awakened a dragon and took control of it and fucked off on it to go do probably very bad things. Captain Fancy Helmet, who I'm sure you met, he did sort of voodoo on the dragon.
The ritual that you referred to.
Aye.
He shakes his head. He says, I hesitate to provide you with information that may be irrelevant, as you and your companions seem agitated. Was this ritual conducted with something that would have been transported in a crate. He's like, his hands are tied behind his back, so he's like, slightly taller than your larger goblin associate there, when packaged.
Do we know the answer to that? Yeah, right? They definitely...
Not the dragon thing. The dragon thing was done with a thing
He
the
found
size
it there,
of a
didn't he?
basketball that he found in
Yeah,
the hold.
but they did
Yeah.
something with a crate of the
There's,
thing.
there's something with the elementals.
The elementals.
That was before the the dragon was just
They
them
did something
finding
to the
that orb and
elementals.
putting it.
elementals.
Yeah.
with like these like pylon things that were
Okay.
You
with
guys talk about two
decreasing-
different rituals right now.
Yes, we guys. Huh. Interesting question. And I might slightly confuse you for a minute here. The cargo that you're discussing, I do not believe was used directly for the dragon. It was used for a separate ritual that was also involved. There may or may not have been a second ritual on the grassy knoll.
I don't know
This
about
poor man's life has just been turned upside down.
I don't know about rituals, and I don't know what happened inside that mountain. As
It was
you are-
bad.
He says, as you are at this point aware, I and my fellows here were preoccupied getting our ship blasted by yours, and getting run aground and abandoned by the rest of our navy at the time. He says, there were 2 crates that came aboard that were aside from our regular cargo and ammunition. I have no idea what was in them. I know they were offloaded when the shore parties went ashore on the island when we arrived here. If they have something to do with your ritual, you would know better than I, as I did not see them after they left, and I know not what they contained.
All right. Here's what I'm gonna do. I can assure safety for you and your men on 2 conditions. One, you'll probably agree to. The other one might be a little more difficult. The first thing is, we're going to take you away from the goblins and back to our ship, in which other members of our crew might have more questions for you, and you will be as forthcoming with them as you were with us. Does that sound agreeable?
Very well.
And 2, if it is decided, and by most likely it will be decided, that you are to return back into... The Empire has an emperor, right? Not an emperor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You will return into His Majesty's service on the condition that, to the best of your ability, will convey us information and possibly be required to do things that are asked of you. I don't think that's too much to ask, since we're A, saving your life, and B, trying to take down some people that are definitely up to some bad things because they have, yet I say it again, a fucking dragon.
He says, the terms of the agreement is that we will provide you any information that we can at your request. And you will take us from here and release us somewhere. And in exchange for deliverance from goblin stomachs and this island and our freedom, we are to become traitors to our people.
I don't necessarily think you'd be traitors to your people, because I think another stipulation is to maybe find other like-minded, discontented individuals and join them to the cause. I can imagine most people in the Empire are not too thrilled about a dragon ruining some stuff.
I suppose
And your
that is-
so-called Empire getting up to nefarious deeds more than your normal...
I imagine that is
shit.
entirely a matter of perspective. I think you can hardly imagine what a person cannot care about when it does not affect them. As long as the dragon does not burn their stuff, I hardly know what most citizens of the Empire have to say about it. But nevertheless, if that is the price that you ask, I will acquiesce.
Wait, listen. Who are we speaking to? What is your name?
I says my name is Adfir Moonhold. I am a lieutenant
Adfir.
in His Eminence's Imperial Navy.
And Fear, I just I want you to understand the gravity of the situation here, the importance of what is happening. You see, you were following orders. I understand. You were brought here to aid these individuals in getting control of pretty much probably the most terrifying thing that I can ever think of that has now been unleashed upon the world. And I must say this to you because I don't think you realize this. It's in the possession of not the Empire, but an organization that may be closely affiliated with the Empire. But I gotta tell you, what makes you think that that dragon won't turn on you and your people?
His Brotherhood is very much a means to the end type. Just because they were allies with your Emperor today does not mean they will be tomorrow, especially now that they have a dragon.
And I wouldn't consider our offer you betraying your people, but maybe coming to light of the situation and maybe freeing your people from what could be your future. A future of ruin and waste because of what you have helped aid these individuals in doing.
He sighs. He says, "Look, my father, he runs a grocer's. He is not a man of means or nobility. As his son, enlisting in the Imperial Navy was a way to provide for my family, to bring honor to our house, and to make something of myself. I have grown up in a civilization which possesses many flaws, as do any. But I have grown up with stories of a homeland that was taken from my people, and a destiny to reclaim what was lost. The actions of my commanders, the presence of these outsiders, and the information that you have been able to provide me of their identities and potential motivations cast many things into question for me. I am little more in a position here to do what you ask me of, which is begin a rebellion within my own country. I can tell you only this, and place my words upon my honor as an elf, and as a member of the Imperial Navy for whatever that may mean. For whatever information I have given you in this conversation, you have given me much to consider yourselves. I said to you a moment ago that I would submit to your request to go forth if you choose to release my brethren and I, and spread this word. Understand that in my position, I am concerned at the moment only with survival. I will not promise you that I will follow through to that extent, but I will promise you that I will think on it.
Well, while you're thinking upon it, make sure to take a quick moment to just imagine your homestead engulfed in flames.
And also, two final things before we finish up here. One, don't think that we're holding all the cards in this situation. We have a lot of the cards, but we're also putting our necks out to trust that you're not just going to squeal to your empire as soon as we let you back to them. So there's going to be a bit of a trust that has to be made here. And the second thing is, and this is the important one, you talked about growing up being told the story of a homeland that was taken from you. Well, just keep in mind that your people have a history and are actively still doing not only taking the homeworld from other people, but they also take the people. And Murderbeard will turn and leave.
Okay. So we will depart on that scene, and
Before I leave, Thysus will apologize to the goblins.
yeah, Pricks like relays to the other goblins that they don't get to eat any of these guys, and a bunch of the goblins like
That crazy-eyed goblin like knows like space and is going to be our big bad at the end of this game,
Yeah.
but not letting him eat.
you walk away, and that one goblin has like a baby doll, and he's just like,
Goblin will remember this.
I rush
Yeah,
up
what
and
was
walk
his name?
really closely to Murderbeard on the way out, looking over my shoulder.
alrighty. So with the whopping 4, Sela and Rowan are our next stop here as we zoom across the island, as you guys follow what is your method of getting to this location? As you guys have some options here, because you can.
Did you do those pictures for me like I asked you to?
Yeah. You can take a rowboat. You can do animal stuff. I don't want to deprive you of the ability to do
I
animal
want to
stuff.
save. I'm saving the animal stuff. I might need the animal stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like we're taking a rowboat and then hoofing it.
Yeah, I think a robot's fine.
Okay. So you go along with
Grievard.
where is it? Grievard. You reach a small little settlement. There is like a handful of like huts and structures and some pens where there's like some animals, and a bunch, about 24 goblins are currently like running hither and yon, like gathering up belongings, packing things up, getting ready to like try and get out of here. On your like way in, you saw that like the where this like village is settled, there is a like there's a small like channel of water between like the Mount Ioliquis and where the lava is coming down, and like where the village is placed. But it is like at the sort of bottom of a like natural run in the topography, that like the lava is now flowing down towards this village.
Give me 1 second. I'm looking up wild shape rules. And I need this. I'm checking something.
Okay. While you check things, how can I gauge how fast the magma is moving / how long it will take before it's here to destroy everything?
You guys probably have like an hour.
Oh, fuckers. Oy.
As far as you can tell, the goblins don't seem, at this point, they don't seem overly concerned with, like, trying to save the village. They are just trying to get as much of their, like, supplies and people and livestock. So you definitely see some elderly goblins are being, like, helped away from the area. They're heading, like, towards the beach on the far side of this spit of land, where they can, like, go, out of the path of the lava. And some folks are like scurrying back and forth, like going into some of their buildings, bringing things out, stuff like that.
Okay, Rowan. So here's the thing. I can probably move the lava a little bit.
Huh?
I can move the lava a little bit, maybe, if I go to a place that it hasn't reached yet.
How exactly?
So let me look at what the spell is. Where is it? Wait, is it so it's coming down like
Coming.
Is it still coming down like the mountain, or has it reached like the ground, like the forest and like the earth? Basically, is it on stone or is it on dirt is the question.
It's a hard question to answer, like, without getting real finicky about, like...
Really? Yeah,
like,
super, okay.
It's magma coming down, like, a mountain through a jungle, but it is, like, currently, like, in the process of, like, flowing and cooling, so you're sort of, like, dealing with, like, a magma field situation type of thing here. I guess, what are you trying to do? And see if it makes sense.
I have stone shape.
Okay.
And I can cast it 4 times if I use a 5th level slot. And I can touch a stone object of medium size or smaller, or a section of stone no more than 5 feet in any dimension, and form it into a shape that like suits the purpose. Aw, a dog. Oh my god, a baby. So like if there is, so basically I'm wondering, can I like take the like ground, like if there's rocky ground, and like form almost like a channel, so that it, because I know I'm not going to be able to stop it. If I put up a wall, it's literally just going to split and go around it. But I'm wondering if I can like make like a little, either like a divot in the ground, because it's going to flow on the path of least resistance, to just move it a little bit to buy them some time, and or like put something up to do that.
I would say you can definitely use that tactic to like manipulate the flow of lava to buy them extra time, for sure.
If I can do that, but I can also, Rowan, that is the spell that I can do. But I can get up to 20 feet of diversion, or I can turn into like a giant ape and help carry a bunch of stuff away.
Looking at everything they have on this island, how much, like, roughly can we get a gauge of like how many ships or things we would need to get like all of their livestock, like what they're trying to save out of here?
They don't necessarily need to be like put on boats and ferried away from here. They just need to like get whatever they can get like down to the, so if they're like on a piece of like land kind of like this, They're somewhere sort of in this vicinity, and the magma coming so this being the island is much different now in the present, as all of this stuff has been magma has been flowing in, so new land masses are forming, and lava channels are bringing magma out into these. So if you kind of imagine magma has come down this mountain, has flowed through here, and is now hitting the atoll here, and has essentially made its way through a natural gap of a formation in this spit of land, and their village is here in the path. They're essentially just they're just getting the village out of out of the way, as much stuff as they can get out of the way. They don't need to be it's not they're here and they need to be evacuated. They're just trying to
Okay, I
get
see
out
what
of
you
the
mean
way.
now. I see what you mean. Yeah, so they're just on that outer island and just need to go a little bit out of the way. Okay.
Okay. I mean, I'm happy to help move things while you're doing that, but I feel like that's bare minimum of help.
I mean, there are elderly and probably also infants that would probably be moved much faster if we were to help them. I can shape all this stone in under 30 seconds, so...
Yeah, I think you should start that. And I'm gonna help start moving things, but Rowan's debating something internally as a Hail Mary pass. As we're doing this, I'm gonna help start moving. If there's carts or whatever that literally we don't have enough horses to move things, Rowan's becoming a horse and moving a cart full of people.
They don't have horses. They've got some weird quadrupedal fairly large lizards that are the size of Shetland ponies that seem to be domesticated in some way. They do have some pigs and some other livestock, but this is very very much this is primitive tribal. So there's not a ton of carts and wagons and things like that being loaded. It's a lot of things being put into wicker baskets carried on backs and run away. And mostly things that are too big to be picked up and carried by a goblin are just being abandoned.
Okay. So then I will be helping whoever is the slowest moving, or if there's lots of children.
Okay.
However, I can be the most helpful in the situation
Okay.
of getting the people and the important thing,
Here's
out of the way.
Here's what we'll do. Okay. Sheila, you head off in the direction where the magma flow is going so that you can begin doing your stone shaping thing and divert that. Rowan, you run with Grievart into the village proper. And you begin, just you help load things onto packs and put them on backs and send people off, and you're just running around as helpful as you can be. Sela, you said you can do this thing 4 times, this stone shape thing?
Yeah, so I can cast it because it's a 4th level spell, so I have 3 4th level slots and a 5th level slot, so that would give me up to 20, basically 4 5-foot cubes of space of stone that I can do stuff to.
Let's do this. I'll have
There's
you make
one over there.
Arcana rolls, and we'll accumulate your Arcana rolls until you hit I've set a number in my head, and when you hit that number, we'll say you've achieved what you need to achieve, and that's how many times it takes you of doing this spell to achieve that.
Okay.
That makes sense?
I don't know who Volpirate gave the proficiency bonus to, but thank you, Volpirate.
You can take it if you need it for extra points to
I
hit.
mean, I feel like it would be... Well, okay.
Or maybe
So-
Nimue can hold it for eggs.
The eggs. Yeah, I feel like the eggs is really scary. Okay, so Arcana check.
Something.
Oh no! An Arcana check. I have a +1 to that, so that's an 8.
Okay, so you begin to like work the stone in the earth, and you start to like make like a channel that you were trying to like divert this lava to like turn it, in a path, and you begin that process, but you can tell like you need more like depth and curvature towards this channel.
All right. Bro, I'm not okay. All right, you know what happens now? So that's
Okay.
a 4. So you know what happens now is we take the timeout chair and we put the dice on it, and then we put the little dunce cap on the dice.
Okay.
And this one's done for the evening.
You're at a total of 12. The heat and the sulfur and the smoke as this like magma is like coming down towards you is like stinging your eyes, and like you're like having trouble like grabbing the concentration you need. Something about this magma is just like it's kind of the same as last night. Like you just like every time you try and like hone your focus to like shape the nature around you, like the closeness of this lava is like static in your mind. So you're at 12 so far.
Ah, dang it. Thank you, chat. Thank you, chat, for the inspiration. Okay. I didn't need to use the inspiration for this one, because that's a 19.
Okay. So with that 19, you on your third like working of the spell, you manage to like carve out the channel that you see like the magma flow you think will like hit this channel, sort of like divert around, and will hit the stream that like bisects this area, which you can tell like is not going to stop it forever. It will eventually like flow over and around and continue its path, but like the diversion and the sort of like the fire break of this stream, you think will slow it down and probably buy these goblins another 30 minutes or so, something like that, to get out of there. You kind of complete this.
I have one more if I need it.
Which you can use later, or you could burn it now if you wanted to burn it now and try and buy extra time depending on how well you roll.
I don't. You know what? I don't think I'm gonna need gas today. So all right. I'm gonna hold it. And then I'm gonna go back to the village, and then I'm gonna do whatever Rowan tells me to do. If we need a giant ape, I'm a giant ape. If we need a horse, I'm a horse.
As you come running back to the village, like just before you get there, Rowan, you're like helping move stuff.
Yeah.
At a certain point, a female goblin comes like running up towards you and Grievart, and seems like frantic about something, and is like talking, like at you. At Grievart is like just like yelling. You don't understand any of it. Grievart looks at you. None of you can speak to each other. He looks at you, and you like make eye contact with this female goblin, and she like looks to you, and she does this.
Oh no.
And she points like up the hill towards where the magma is coming from.
To be sure, I understand. I mimic the same thing. Babies, and I motion like her, and then smaller to signify like children.
She
and
nods.
I point.
She nods, and like maybe 6, 7. You're not sure about like goblin ages, but like a child goblin like runs past in like the care of their parents, and she like points at that goblin child, and then like at herself, and then like up the hill.
And Sela just joined me.
As this finishes up, Sela like lopes back into the village.
How far up the hill is it? / how close is it to the magma?
You're not sure. She's just pointing in the direction of the magma, like into the trees.
I point to her, and I point for her towards the trees to like lead us, show us. And I look at Sela. I'm like, I think there's kids in the trees, and they need help, and we gotta go. And I also might need you to be an ape and carry me for part of this, because I have a stupid idea.
Okay.
So you and Grievart and this goblin woman like charge back off. Sela's sort of in the direction that you came from, but like at like an angle to where you were. Like run off into the jungle, which is like smoky and part of it's on fire, and there's like you see like streams of magma like here there and everywhere, like aside from the main one that's coming for the village. Make a survival check.
Both of us, or
Yeah, you both can. I'll make one for the goblins as well, actually.
not bad.
22.
14, which for me is not bad.
Okay. Sela, you hear it before you spot it. You hear, like, definitively the sound of, like, an adolescent goblin, like, crying. Sounds like just one. And you, like, divert course towards the sound. Rowan, after you see Sela, like an arrow turns and heads in a direction, and you start following, you hear it a moment later. You hear the, sort of like the distressed crying of a young goblin, and as you like break through a grouping of trees, you come upon a scene where there is like across from you, you burst out of the trees, and between you, maybe 15 feet in front of you, there is like a 10-foot long, like 10-foot wide, like river of magma. And on the far side of that, what appears to be like, you think that maybe like the gully that this magma is going down was like a gully where water was, and the magma has now flowed through it. So on like the high bank on the other side, there was like a spit of land which has now been like entirely like encircled by magma. There is a single young like child, 5, 6, somewhere in that area, female as far as you can tell, goblin, who is holding in her arms a like struggling like a very small one of those like lizard creatures that you guys saw that they had back there. It's like flailing and lashing its tail, and it has like a little collar on it, and she's like got it held to her chest, and they are trapped on this like spit of land between like where you are or with this flow of magma between you. The goblin lady that like pointed you out immediately like shrieks and runs like right to the edge of the magma river, and is just like pacing back and forth like.
I pull her back, and I kind of pass her to Grievart, and I just look at Sela, and I'm like, that stupid obstacle course got me good at jumping at least, and I take as many steps back as I feel that I need. And Rowan's taking a fucking running jump and long jumping over the 10-foot magma gully.
Make a athletics check. Because you are landing higher than where you took off, so you do have to do a little bit of jumping.
That's a 18 athletics check.
Easily enough. You vault yourself through the air. You land fully, like both feet. You make it up and onto that spit of land, and land a few feet away from this like little goblin girl.
I realize that I can't communicate with her. I'm like, this was dumb. Should have brought a goblin with me. Crap. And I just like hold my hands out to her, like motioning like we gotta go.
Okay.
Like, come to me.
Make a persuasion check. And Sela, make an insight check.
21.
Okay.
Persuasion.
Am I muted? Can you hear me?
Now you're not.
Now
I
I
hear you
can.
now.
Okay. 8.
8. Okay.
Yeah. Not my night.
Rowan, you like hold out your arms. The little girl seems like unsure, and then like a sort of like a blorp of like lava like splishes near, and she like shrieks and runs into your arms, and you're able to pick her up. She weighs nothing essentially.
Out of precaution, I'm going to like kind of like strap her to me with whatever I have on me, so that like her and this lizard thing, I'm like, you know what? I've got to jump. This is a thing. And I'm going to put my hand on her head, and I'm going to cast protection from energy on her
Okay.
and give her protection from fire damage because of the magma.
Cool. Okay. So you
And
cast that spell.
we're doing a jump.
Okay. Make an athletics check.
21.
Okay. Rowan, Celia, you see on the other side of this like firmament of solid land, you see Rowan like scoop up this small child, like huddle her against her torso, holds her and this squirming lizard with one arm to free the other arm for like momentum to jump. You see like a sort of like a flare of radiant light as she does some sort of magic, and she turns and begins to like back herself up as far as she can to get ready to jump. And this like static that has been like just like breaking your like your focus and your center all day is like building and building and building. And as Rowan jumps, you see both of her feet leave the ground. She like begins this leap over the chasm. Like it like finally like snaps into focus just like a moment too late that something is not right here. And before we find out what that is, I want to switch to Nimue.
Oh shit. Oh wow.
So Nimue, you on the carpet with Israk flying beside you, go up and like counterclockwise around the atoll to one of the spires of the Arakocra's like settlement. You see that the one that you are led over to is probably it's roughly square-ish with kind of like a squared flat top. Probably at the apex of it, it's probably like 60 feet across, but it kind of like comes down and narrows a little bit before it gets wider again. So at its narrowest point, it's only probably like 20-30 feet across. And you can see like on the side closest to the volcano, you can see like a big piece of rock broken away where like something came and hit it. And there is like a vicious like fissure running down and around the side of it that like bisects that thin part. There are a bunch of like other Arakocra here who are all just like circling around it. But like occasionally you sort of hear the like of like the rock groaning, and like a few pebbles and like pieces of dust will come down and like trickle and fall away. They none of them seem to be like sure what to do to get closer, for risk that like trying to disturb this thing might cause it to fall. You see about 10 feet down from the very top, there is like a curved path that has been carved out of the stone, and there is like an opening about the size of like a normal doorway that like you probably can fly the magic carpet through, but like the sides of the carpet are definitely going to like scrape along the walls of this passage as you enter.
Could I
in
like
here.
lift the edge?
Sure, yeah.
Like, you know when you like have a blanket and you're like, eh.
So as you like sort of hover to the area, Israk like comes up and like alights and sets down on the carpet a little unsteadily and like kind of situates herself next to you on the carpet.
Who does?
Israk, the Arakocra's leader.
Should we go up?
Is this
Like
is mental, yeah?
Yeah.
She says, "Yes, I don't remember what her. I think she was. Her voice was like, it's like, yes. If you think that you can get the flying tapestry in without disturbing the structure, we should enter with all haste and retrieve the eggs and make our exit."
Is there a door, like out of character? Is there a door like that we have to open and close?
No, it's an opening the size of a door, but it's an
Perfect.
opening into the rock.
All right, I just do that.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask them like if you had a key or something to get in there, but if there's no door
Nope,
to
you
like
can fly right in.
open.
Make a let's call it acrobatics checks, yeah, for piloting the carpet.
Ew, you.
Carpet.
19 plus 9.
Okay, so you like you shoot in, you like do a corkscrew around a particularly narrow part. You like tuck the corners of the carpet, and you fly through a stone tunnel that is only about 25 feet in length and leads to like a chamber that has been hollowed out of the interior of this. You see that there are a number of openings in the top that are just large enough for like a body to go, like an Arakocra could like swoop down through here. Like would not have fit the cart, but they are letting like sunlight and warmth and like fresh air into this chamber. There are these like ornately patterned workings into the stone itself that have been added onto with some like metal working and cloth, like silk hangings and tapestries that add like color and texture to this chamber. You very much like feel like you are like swaddled in like a multicolored nest as you come in here. The inside of this chamber has all of these like alcoves along the walls, which as you like fly in, you see are like the way that the like openings of the roof are like placed, are like cast like beams of like warm sunlight onto these openings, and you see in 5 of those openings you see eggs. They are, like I said, they're about yay big.
Okay.
They are vastly different in like coloration and pattern. Like one of them is like electric green with like lime yellow like swirlies through it. One of them is like red with orange spots. One of them is blue. Like they're all different colors and like ornate in like design.
Okay, yeah, I think I go straight to like the closest one
Okay.
and open the bag of holding and try and gently put it in. I'll think of
Alrighty.
like the blankets and pillows that are already in there and be like, put it onto the top.
As you get close to the first egg, you kind of like scooch close to the front of the carpet. Isrock like kind of comes over to the edge as well and like takes the bag for you and like holds it open so that you can use both your hands on the eggs. And you see as you get closer, the eggs you see are not, don't appear to be like what you first mistook for like this vast array of like different like color patterns and physiologies. It isn't natural. It appears that the eggs have been like extremely ornately decorated.
Aww.
And so you like lift them up and Isrock like holds the bag and you put an egg in. You move your way around the chamber. I'm not going to make you make rolls for every one of these eggs, as that would be bothersome. I'll have you do one roll. Make a sleight of hand roll to see how like efficiently you're able to move through this process.
That is a 13 plus 5, 18.
So you want to take my advantage? My player inspo? Can I give her my player inspo?
I mean, I have player inspo.
Oh, never mind.
Should I do it for it? I did 18. Should I do higher? Should I do higher? I'm gonna hold off because I might need it for something more
get
dire.
Okay. You get to the last egg, and as you're like making your gentle approach to it, you reach out, you get the egg in your hands, and like as you slip the final one safely into the bag of holding, and Isrock like flaps it shut, you hear an echoing like
Oh shit.
and the like you're suspended on the carpet and like the room begins to move around you as the whole thing that you are in like starts to come down. And what you see, you book it to the exit. What you see is like where it split and starts to slide, the doorway goes as like the rock wall slides over it, sealing you inside here as it begins to like slide down. What do you do?
So the the door is like closing?
The door, yeah. So basically, like you fly to go through the door, but like, you know, the door is an opening in the wall, and like the top of this thing cracked at an angle and is now sliding down. So like the entire plateau, as this thing falls, like slides, and you pull up as like the wall essentially slides over the door.
Do I know how far of a drop it is, like before we got up here?
You're several hundred feet above the ground, in this like spire.
I mean, I don't think that'll work. This is way more. It's way too heavy to do anything with my psionics with. I'm gonna try and push us through the hole.
Okay.
I think I'm just gonna like pull out. Oh, where do I got?
So you kind of see like the door closes, the bottom, like the floor is like sliding. You see rock sliding against rock, and you look up and you see like dirt and rock and debris is falling down, but there are those openings in the ceiling.
Yeah, let's go up there.
As you fly towards those, they are definitely like, you can definitely get through them, you know, your body, but like to fly the carpet through is going to be, you're gonna have to figure something out if you're trying that. Is Rock is like perched behind you on the carpet with her wings like half spread, ready to like leap from the carpet and take flight if need be, but like you are both still inside this, essentially like you're inside like a closed encapsulated chamber that is like sliding this way and about to fall.
I'm wondering, is it possible to time it to wait until like it clears the cliff before I can squeeze out? Like, you know,
yeah,
because
theoretically, if you
right?
maintain position inside this, eventually it will slide away like this, and the bottom is open.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't want to make a play for like the holes at the top, you can try and wait it out until the thing breaks free.
Too small for both of us, right?
What's that?
The holes at the top are too small for both of us.
Individually, you could get out. Like, I mean, like theoretically, like Isra could take off from the carpet and fly herself out of one of these openings. But she's like got the bag of holding still with the eggs on it and is like just waiting to see what you do before making a decision herself. She doesn't seem to be like wanting to try and fly through the hole as this thing is moving with the bag.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think I'm gonna try and maneuver, like I'm gonna try like following the path of motion. I'm gonna use kind of like the gyroscope where you like stay in the center of the movement with technology.
Okay, we're back. I don't know what that was. Nothing on our end seemed to turn off. Anyway, the chamber slides downward. You hear a thunderous, like, crunch, and the entire chamber, like, jolts as if on its way down it, like, hit something else, because the chamber, like, the top of the chamber then begins to, like, rapidly tilt this way as the entire top begins to, like, tumble. So as you continue to, like, keep yourself in the center here, what was originally, like, the slant of the floor steadily becomes, like, the wall, and then becomes like an opening to the sky as the entire top of this plateau like flips this way as it comes down. And you're able to like ascend with the carpet. A big piece of rock comes down and you like psionic punch it out of the way, like knocking it akimbo. East Rock like squawks and covers, like hunkers down behind you, and you fly up and into the clear blue sky above the there's like Aarakocra like going crazy, flying around as you guys come like flying out on this carpet. They like fly over to like make sure you're okay and everything else, and you have this like huge honor guard of like multicolored bird people like flying around you as you come out of the top of this plateau.
Oh, that was close. I don't like that. Here's your eggs.
you like offload eggs, you hand them to Aarakocra, who like take them and swoop off to like another portion of their settlement. As you guys are like finishing this and sort of like sitting on the carpet here, Murderbeard, you and Thyxis are like rowboating your way back to the Grimm's Folly and back down on the beach. Rowan, you leap into the air, and the stream of magma beneath you lurches up and unfurls into what looks like a tentacle, but then solidifies into like almost a serpentine head made of molten rock and magma, and then whips and slams into you. You take 2 points of fire damage and 4 points of bludgeoning damage. The goblin, you shield her between your body and your spell. She is shielded from the damage. You are luckily knocked the rest of the way back to where Sela is. And Sela, everything snaps into focus a moment too late as the fuzziness resolves itself, and you finally realize what has been eating at you since last night, as a second and then a third tendril and then a body hulks itself out of this magma stream, and you immediately can tell, Sela, what you are looking at is the twisted, amalgamated forms of the two of those magma elementals fused into one hybrid monstrosity, which has lurched out of the magma and turns its attention toward you.
They're married now.
I'm cutting the child loose and shoving it at its mother and
you shove. She runs to her mother, who scoops her up,